Welcome to the St. Charles County Correspondent. I'm Noah Brandt, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Sam Safa. Sam, good Thursday to you.
No, always good to be with you. And you said something in our cold open that I got to ask you about. Did you say that David Hoffman is the largest landowner in St. Charles County?
Yeah, someone should probably fact check that, but I heard that he is, I think, the largest private landowner now. So I don't,
If
that
that
doesn't
big, if
count.
true,
That doesn't
big
count.
if true.
That doesn't count like the actual government or that type of thing. But he owns a lot of land now, Sam.
I don't doubt that he owns a lot of land. Once you said it out loud, I was shocked to hear it, and we should look into that because if it's true that he's the private largest landowner, then that is a story in and of itself.
Sam, let's. We're going to get into what Mr. Hoffman, his machinations. There's always something new, and this is some pretty big news this week that broke. But first, it is really hot out now. It is like really feeling like the summer. It's mid-May, and we came out swinging. The St. Charles County Correspondent, led by our man of action, Sam Safa, talking about fun things for the family to do this summer. Talk about the three things that you're most excited about.
No, we try to be helpful here on the St. Charles County Correspondent. I put together a list of things that I want to do with my child, and I've got lots of nieces and nephews that run around and around the area. And my microphone's falling out here, but I've got a couple of things that I wanted to highlight that are happening in St. Charles County. We wrote an article about this. You can find it online at the sccc.substack.com. We list out 6 things, but I'll give you a sneak peek here. The 3 things I'm most excited about. Here's a gem for you. We talked about this last year. Boshertown go-karts. I don't know if you've been down there, Noah, but these aren't just normal go-karts. These are high-speed, high-intensity, 1/4 mile asphalt
I
paved
still have
track.
it. It looks like the Indy 500 when you look
It
at the track
really is.
from above. Yeah.
Yeah, and forgive me, it's actually half a mile, not a 1/4 of a mile. Half a mile track. There's a couple of S curves. There's a straightaway, bank curves. I don't even know what a bank turn is. I think that's a racetrack term. I know what an S
It's when you
curve
got
and
to
I know what a
bank hard,
straightaway is.
bank real hard. Yeah.
Bank it hard, pull it all the way over. They've
How
got
would you
individual
define a
carts.
straightaway, Sam?
Individual carts for those that want to drive fast by themselves. They've got duo carts for those that can't reach the pedals yet, and it's pretty affordable. I remember, I don't have the figure in front of me, but we went as a family last summer, and I remember 6 or 7 of us all hopping on there, and it didn't break the bank. And they've been up there in North St. Charles City since 1957. So we got to get
Oh,
you out
Sam,
there.
that sounds like a lot of fun. My daughter is going to be too small for it, and I'm not allowed to go places by myself. But so tell here's one that I could do with my family, and the picture you chose is really picturesque, and that's Klondike Park. Tell us about that.
Well, if you haven't, folks, been down to Klondike Park, you're missing out, I think, on one of the most beautiful areas of the county. We did another preview last fall about the most scenic drives you can take in St. Charles County without leaving the county, without really going more than 30 minutes from your house, Noah. And Klondike Park along Highway 94 near Augusta was top on the list. And Klondike Park, I actually just hiked it over Thanksgiving. They have this beautiful lake that used to be a quarry, as I understand it. It's 250 acres there. It has a bluff overlooking the Missouri River. And here's the kicker.
It has like a beach. It has
They
like
have a
sand
beach.
with a beach, right?
It's described as a cool, clear water with pristine white sand beaches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really scooped you there. Well, that is amazing though to think that in the county there is more or less a beach. So I'm sure the water is probably always pretty cold.
It is. It is
But
cold, I imagine. I've only been there, frankly, in the winter. I need to go in the summer, but it was a quarry, and this is what gives me excitement, Noah, for the new park they're building in
mm,
Wentzville, because St. Charles
yeah,
County does such a good job with the parks down here. This is a
they
St.
do.
Charles County park, 250 acres, and it's a destination for the whole region.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's awesome, and that is something that you can actually pop the stroller out on it because they have a nice paved trail, right? And you
They
can
do.
You can walk with the baby. No, that's pretty fun. Sam, you, listen, I'm directing you probably too much because there's all six of these things are so interesting. But you got to tell us, about the astronomy watching
Yeah.
as well because I think that's really unique.
Yeah, it is unique, and I tell you, props to my dad who found this. And I lost my microphone again. I need to get a little clip for it, but it keeps things interesting. Props to my dad who found this. This is down near his house. He lives closer to Defiance and Augusta area, uh, in Bromelslick Park, down there on Highway DD. There is a free every Friday night astronomy watching party where astronomers who are very involved in this have expensive telescopes. I've seen a couple of pictures of it's thousands of dollars worth of telescope equipment, and you can see what's going
Mm,
on in the night sky. And
love that.
if you've been down there, there's no fluorescent light. There's no light pollution down there. That
Light pollution, great word.
Yeah,
Yeah, great phrase.
yeah, it's
There's none of
beautiful.
it. There's no light pollution down there.
No, I'll be honest. I haven't been here. I haven't done this. This is top on my list for things I need to do, but it was such a good
Yeah.
thing since it's free. I had to put it on the list. I saw the reviews. It's free every Friday night, depending on the weather. If the weather's good, they'll do it. And they host a star watching party from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. You can see the moon, obviously, and
You can see the moon. That's good. I like seeing the
perhaps
moon.
an Elon Musk
The Big
satellite.
Dipper, maybe? Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Sam, you link to this website on the article, and it'll be in the newsletter this week. To the website of the Astronomical Society of Astronomical Society of Eastern Missouri, and they just have the best logo I've almost ever seen. It's of like two pioneers, one with a gun, one with a pocket telescope, looking at some drawn stars like that. Who I give it up to that graphic designer. That is a killer
It
logo.
is. It's a
So
spinoff of
thank you
the
to the
famous.
Astronomical Society of Eastern Missouri.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a spinoff of the Lewis and Clark standing there with their dog Seaman. There you can see the logo. I think it's in the St. Charles City logo, perhaps. So it's a spinoff of that. They're on brand. They're on message. This is tremendous.
That's right.
But check out our list, folks. Check it out on our website and let us know what we missed. I'd love to do a round two. We list a couple other things, and we had some good comments online this week, shouting out Wentzville Days, for example, that are happening this weekend.
Oh yeah, great
Shout
time.
out to
Yep.
them. We'll probably also do a preview of Memorial Day ceremonies. That's coming up at the end of the month. We'll do a preview of the 4th of July. Where can you see the best fireworks? So stay tuned right here. We try to do the heavy lifting for you. You just come to us and we'll tell you where you can go.
And listen, this is only the second year of the St. Charles County Correspondent, the second summer, but we really keep you updated on fireworks content. We're both very enthusiastic about getting the best fireworks. Sam, a more business related story, but something we've covered because it's affecting people's lives and they're both what they do for fun and a lot of people where they work and live, is David Hoffman and his just mammoth acquisitions all over the Augusta area and even going into Franklin County and Washington. And he's purchased almost every winery in the area. He's building a golf course. He's building hotels. He has these restaurants. He's doing all these different things. And of course, the way he has the funds, right, that he spent, $100 million in Augusta, the way he has the funds is he's a very successful businessman who has acquisitions and holdings all over the country. And this is actually pretty interesting. I don't know if I knew this number exactly. Hoffman is worth $1.3 billion, which is a net worth to rank him at about 2,190 on Forbes' worldwide list of billionaires. Did you know he was that rich, Sam?
Look, once you're past 10 million, you're rich to me.
Yeah, well, wow, I love that. Once you're 10 million, that's a specific number. But the big change this week, and so we're coming to you on Thursday, and this change was just announced on Monday, is David Hoffman has stepped down as CEO of the Hoffman family of companies, which includes all those holdings in Augusta. And apparently, this was actually effective May 1st. They announced it a little bit later, but he said Hoffman said himself, "quote I am pleased to announce that effective May 1st, both of our sons have taken over complete operations of the Hoffman family of companies as co-chief executives." As co-chief executives.
That's big
So
news.
I mean, it's something else. So Dave, the mysterious David Hoffman, the David Hoffman of legend, I'm sure he'll still be involved in a lot of ways. But his sons are now co-CEO. Jeff and Greg are now co-CEOs. So we might see some changes, and now it's like David Hoffman's definitely set them up, I think, for a lot of success here in Missouri if they make the right moves going forward.
No doubt that he set them up for success. And here's the thing, Noah, not a lot has happened besides acquisitions. You see that reported, there's
Yeah.
designs to build a golf course, there's designs to build a five-star hotel and restaurant, or just a hotel. I don't know if it's a five-star restaurant. Uh, Nothing's been built to my knowledge. No dirt has moved.
A lot of new paint of old buildings, which is a good thing,
Great
right?
thing.
A lot of
Great
upkeep,
thing. But I
which
think
is
it's too early to
a good thing.
tell, will this be a good
Mhm.
or bad
I
thing? I
agree.
mean, as far as we know, this could be a tremendous thing. I mean, maybe David Hoffman sort of, wasn't. I mean, clearly he's a genius when it comes to real estate. But perhaps this is a good
Sure.
thing. The Post Dispatch
Well,
sends it as a
and
bad thing, but could be good.
yeah, obviously, it seems like this was probably his plan from the beginning. We started this all, 18 months, 2 years ago, and the acquisition parts come to an end, like we reported, and now it's all into building and trying to make it work. But the one thing that gives me a lot of hope is, the sunk cost that the Hoffmans have put into the area, right? $150 million. That must mean they're planning on the horizon of decades, not quarters, which is, I think, a good thing for
No
the
doubt.
area. To where even if I'm sure, this is going to be a tough thing to spin up because though Augusta is an amazing area, and I think that locals and people from across the Midwest love coming to the wineries, for this to work, he does need to make it a national destination, which I think is yet to be seen if it's going to be successful. But we wish them all the best.
We do. We've been following this
Jeff
as
and Greg,
closely as we can.
we'll get Jeff and Greg on the show. Jeff and Greg, if you're listening, we want to talk to you. We want to hear about the plan.
I'd love to hear about it. Be
Yeah.
great. I really want to know what they're going if and what they're going to do with the Washington airport, because we've talked about this before.
Yes. So
It
interesting.
has to
Yeah.
be that Spirit. Because if you go as a crow flies, Spirit Airport is very close, but going from
Yeah.
Chesterfield to Augusta is a nightmare. It's like an hour because you got to go up 40.
Is it really that
It
long? Yeah. There's no
Yeah,
convenient way to
try
do
getting
it.
to St.
Yeah.
Albans from Defiance. It's like a legit hour, but it's like 4 miles as the crow flies. It's really tremendous. So, it's gotta be the
Yeah,
Washington
it
Airport.
has to be like, 'cause, the Washington airport is
Has
so
to be.
close in the
Has to be
drive.
the
It's
move.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's so much. I mean, I know people, right? If you're listening, you might not be familiar with either, right? You might just be familiar with like Lambert, St. Louis, but both the Chesterfield Spirit of St. Louis Airport and the Washington Airport in Franklin County, they're both these small private airports, but the Chesterfield Airport is much bigger and more developed. Like on the scale of small airports, the Chesterfield Airport is still a lot bigger, so they'd have to invest a lot in that Washington Airport to make it, more accessible to the clientele who could do private planes.
Well, all airports, I think, have to be accessible to the clientele that can afford small planes, but, you're right. You're right. Spirit of St. Louis is a very nice airport with a full tower and hangars and all of that, but,
Yeah.
um,
Yep. Yep.
folks, let us know what you're thinking.
The Washington airport is much more similar to kind of like what you consider like a rural country
Yeah,
airstrip, to where the Chesterfield one is almost just like a very
sure.
small airport.
I'd agree with that. I'd
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yep.
Well, folks,
Well, Sam, we gotta make sure before we go. I can't let you well folks yet because we have to hear what's been making you smile
that's where
this
I
week.
was going with that. Well, folks,
Was it
you
okay?
got to
Well,
hear what is making us smile this week. That's where I was going. Noah's trying to cut me off to steal my thunder. I'll tell you.
it is your favorite segment. I shouldn't steal it from you.
I, I'll, Noah, you gave a shout out last week to the folks who do our trash, and they are really the unsung heroes. Funny story, I forgot to take my
Yeah,
trash
they're
out
great.
last week, and I caught the
Ooh,
guys. He was coming back down the other side, and he was kind enough to take my trash. So I thought I would mention that. Shout out to Meridian Waste out here in Wentzville. But
good
something
work.
else that has been making me smile is generosity of friends. I have a buddy who is into working out, and I work out a little bit, but I've been experimenting with just protein shakes, trying to uh, up the reaction that my body has from working out. And a buddy of mine just sent me some protein that he's been taking, and it really made my day. It made my week, really. It's a kind gesture.
I love that.
$15, Amazon Prime showed up on my door. So shout out to Grant, who is working out as well, but took the time and the money to send me something that he didn't have to do. So I appreciate that.
You go, Grant. Good guy.
How about you, Noah?
Well, Sam, this past weekend was our neighborhood garage sale, which is always a delight. Happens twice a year. I live in an undisclosed neighborhood in O'Fallon, but it was a great time. With so many neighbors. We didn't sell anything this year, but went to a lot of different neighbors, bought a lot of fun little knickknacks, got to chat them up. But nothing better than a May garage sale, because those July garage sales a little too hot, but those May garage sales had a nice breeze. Got to buy, bought some good pool floats. Bought one of those for our little niece. Bought one of those lawn mowers that when you push it makes bubbles. So
Wow,
pretty
that's
great.
awesome. I'm sure she's going to love that.
Yeah,
And she can maybe help with your dandelion problem, perhaps.
Sam, the lawn doctor, like I said, he came, and it's the problem is looking much better. It's really I think in a week or two it'll be really great, but it's much improved. Sam, take us home.
I'm glad to hear that, Noah. Folks, if you've been listening to the St. Charles County Correspondent, I'm Sam Safa along with Noah Brand. If you like this podcast, you can leave us a review. Spotify, Apple, iTunes, wherever you get this podcast, leave us a review. You can also get in touch with us via email, scccorrespondent@gmail.com. And of course, you can find us on the web where we are primarily, and that's at sccc.substack.com. For Noah, this has been Sam. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the St. Charles County Correspondent.